last time we did this, there was a lot of comments, a lot of great stuff, and it was really fun. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. So I really love this quote. It's by Peter Drucker. It says, "What gets managed gets measured." And basically, the main point of this quote is what you focus your attention to improves. You know, if you're always out on the basketball court or on the golf course and you're practicing, you're working on your putting, you're working on your free throw, and that's what you focus on day in, day out, you're going to get better. It's just inevitable. But if you're not focusing on that, say you never practice on the putting green and all you do is work on your driver and your irons and you three putt every hole, you know, there's a massive opportunity for improvement right there if you only just paid more attention and managed that specific aspect of your game. And the same thing goes for dividend investing. When you're investing in dividend stocks, one of the main data points that we can focus on is the income we're receiving. So when you're really focused on how much income am I receiving from my portfolio, and we can modulate that, we can move it up, move it down, change it in ways that benefit us, then what's going to happen over time is that you're going to see that you're focused on the growth of that income. And if we're getting paid more every single month, you know, if you're making $1,000 a month in 2017, $2,000 a month in 2018, and then $4,000 a month in 2019, I think that would be a very successful strategy for investing in dividend stocks. And this is one of the things that tracking your dividends will do, is because you can see, okay, cool, stock A is doing a really good job increasing their dividends. I see my payments going up every quarter, every year, whatever it is, versus, you know, stock C, which, you know, they haven't increased their dividends in 6 quarters. Well, I'm going to get rid of that one and get one that's growing their dividends a little bit more. So really your choices right now are pretty limited. You know, you can use a notepad, which I know lots of people use a notepad. You can use Excel, which I used for a very long time. I've also used a notepad. That's my handwriting right there. There's a couple other choices. I see someone in the chat already talking about Vanguard. So a lot of individual brokerages also track dividends, but I'm going to go over a very specific reason why Divcaster is a more comprehensive solution than just a single brokerage account. So pros and cons, you know, there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to Divcaster. There's pros and cons to using a notepad to track your dividends. Pros, I mean, it's really simple. You make of it what it is. You have full control over it. You can pull whatever data you'd like from the internet. You can put it in your notepad and you can change it, do new things, do less things. You have full control over it. Cons, you got to do everything manually. You know, you got to write it with your hand. You got to pull the data off the internet. You got to go search on the internet, find the data, pull it, write it down. There's no live updates of your information and your data. It takes a lot of time. You know, we all, at least me personally, I try and get every single extra minute I can to, you know, do things I enjoy. You know, spend time with my friends, my family, my loved ones, be active, go outside. That's really what's important in life. And to me, at least, what's not important is spending time entering information in an Excel sheet or using a notepad. So those are the cons and the pros of using a notepad. And then there's Excel. So Excel is definitely, in my opinion, an improvement over the notepad. And basically the pros of using Excel is you can automate things. So you can enter in formulas. You can sometimes use macros to grab information off the internet. It's a little bit more complicated. It keeps a detailed history. And you can also, you know, save it, email it, bring it with you if you're on the go. Your notepad, you have to physically bring something with you. If you lost your notepad, that entire history would be gone. So the cons of Excel, if you don't know Excel, it can be pretty tricky to learn. You still have to enter the data manually. And this also can be time consuming. And if you make one error in the formula, you might not know it, and your data could be wrong as well. So there's pros and cons to everything. I definitely think if you're going to, I recommend that everybody tracks their dividends. That's the one thing that I hope everybody takes from this call is, even if you don't use Divcaster, which I hope you do, you should be tracking your dividends, whether it's on a notepad, Excel, or another program. So here's why we're all here tonight. I'm going to show off Divcaster. It's our custom piece of software. We spent over $100,000 developing this piece of software. Like I said, thousands of hours. We have an entire team of coders out in Los Angeles and Palos Verdes, and they work on Divcaster. We contract them, and I'm heading up this project. So I'm really excited to show off what we've been working on. And Divcaster solves the problems with traditional tracking plus more. Using Divcaster, you'll upload your portfolio. So we have a couple options. You can upload a CSV, or you can manually enter your transactions, which is super simple. And it gives you a detailed 12-month forecast of your income. So month to month, it'll tell you an estimate of how much income you will receive. It gives you a complete portfolio history of income earned. So you'll be able to see, okay, cool, I earned X amount of income in Q3 2016, and then I earned a little bit more. And it really gives you a very detailed history of a lot of relevant statistics for income investing. Income investing is as we all know, it's a different time. We have different metrics of success to compare against, and really, especially versus maybe growth investing, because in growth investing or growth stock investing or even value investing, a lot of your gains might be unrealized. It's locked inside of the stock price. With dividend investing, you're receiving a cash payment, and most brokerage accounts will not reflect those dividends into your P&L, your profit and loss percentage. So with Divcaster, we give you immediate stats on your portfolio. So your total portfolio yield, year-to-date income earned, income growth statistics, and more, like I said. And you also get a really unique feature that I've only ever seen with Divcaster is what we call the what if scenario. And this gives you the flexibility to test out changes to your portfolio to see, okay, cool, if I buy more of this stock, sell some of this stock, what happens to my income? Because really, that's why we're here. We're here to make more income. We're here to make our money work for us, right? So really quick, and then I'm going to drop into the demonstration. What do you risk by not tracking your dividends? Because I think that's important. What you risk is money. You give up a small amount of control by not tracking your dividends. You kind of just let things be as they are. And the best way to explain it really is that you're flying blind. So you don't have full control over your portfolio. You don't know where the pitfalls are. You don't know where maybe the risks are. And you also don't know where the opportunities are. So it goes both ways. So tracking your dividends, and like I said, I hope you take one thing out of this call is that you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to start tracking my dividends, whether you use the notepad, Excel, Divcaster, or another program. Plain and simple, you track your dividends, you will make more money because you're aware of it, you're managing it. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up Divcaster real quick. Can you guys all see the portfolio right here? Okay. Got to share the screen. Cool. That should do it. Can you guys see it now? Okay, cool. Awesome. So here is what I call almost the homepage of Divcaster. And I created a demo portfolio for us tonight. And what you're seeing here is a 12-month forecast of this portfolio's income. That's what each of these bars represents. So right here, you'll see in August 2019, this portfolio right here is projected to earn $40 of income from 2 different stocks. And then you'll see you get a similar readout for each month of the next 12. And then here is the first widget, which is annual income. Here's my projected annual income for the next 12 months. Average monthly income. Average dividend yield, which just takes the amount of income you receive divided by the cost. Or excuse me, I'm pretty sure the value. And then year-to-date income earned. So these are your monthly checkup. You're going to come into Divcaster once a month, and you'll see, okay, cool. How's my income doing? How much money I'm going to make over the next couple months? Maybe add in any transactions you've had over the last 1 month, 2 month period, however it is, and then check everything's good and log out. Divcaster is not a program that you will log into every single day. It's more like a monitoring alarm system that you have, and it's kind of running under the current, under the surface, and just making sure everything's good. And you check it every once in a while. You're like, okay, cool, I'm good, and you move on. And that's really the freedom that this allows you to have. So, like I said, here's the income forecast. Here's the quick stats about your portfolio. And you'll also see now here we have each of the 4 stocks listed that I own in the portfolio. And you'll see the ticker here, the price here. This is the day's price change. So you see the stock market, as we all know, was down a lot today. It was a pretty nasty day for a lot of stocks, but these stocks were actually not down by that much. Even new residential was up by just a tad. Here we have the portfolio weightings. So you'll see, okay, cool, about 20% of my portfolio is in Starwood, 22 in NRZ, 32 in Maine. So give you a quick look into the diversification of your portfolio. Maybe you're overweight in one stock, you could make an adjustment. Here we have the quantity, shares owned, your average cost per share, and this will be important when I show adding transactions to the portfolio, because this number actually changes based on multiple transactions. Each one of these holdings only has 1 transaction. But as you know, and I'm sure all of us know, over time we buy more shares because you start earning more income. Cash becomes available, you buy more shares, you earn a bigger dividend. So we want to track that cost basis over time, and this average cost per share does that. Here's the yield. Dividend yield is pretty simple. It just comes from our data set. You can just track what the yield is of that stock. Here we have return. And now return is not a price return. That would be gain loss over here at the end on the far right side. Return is actually price increase or decrease plus dividends earned. So this will give you a great example of how your investment is doing when factoring in the dividends you've received. Because, you know, say you have a stock that pays $1 a year in dividends and it costs $20 a share. After 5 years, if the stock's still at $20, your price, your gain and loss will be 0, but you've earned $5 in dividends. So really your return is 5 divided by 20, which is 25%. So here's another really cool column right here, total income earned. This is just a running total of all the income you've earned from the position. So you see this NRZ position here was made in August 7th, 2014. And if you had bought 200 shares of NRZ August 7th, 2014 for $12, you'd have almost 100% return, earning almost $2,000 in dividends. And that's also only on a 21% stock price gain loss. So if you were only looking at your brokerage account and you saw a 21% return over going on 5 years now, you'd be like, oh, wow, that's not very good. You know, I could have bought the S&P and done just as well. But really, in reality, you've earned 100% in that time. Here's another interesting column right here, yield on cost. So yield on cost just gives you the yield you're earning, so the income you're earning based on what you paid for it. So my example again of the $20 stock that pays a $1 dividend, say in that 5-year period, that dividend actually goes up to $2 now, and the price goes up to $30. But you paid $20 for it, so you're still earning that $2 dividend now on a $20 price paid. But really, if you sold it today, the stock is worth $30. So your yield on cost gives you a good metric to see what you're earning from what you paid. The dividend yield is what you're earning based on today's share price. So you'll see these numbers will always be different, dividend yield and yield on cost. If the stock price is higher than what you paid, yield on cost will be higher. If the stock price is lower than what you paid, dividend yield will be higher. Here's the annual dividend information. like I said, we just get this from our data set. We're actually currently in the middle of an upgrade to our data set, and we're moving to bar chart. And bar chart will give us a couple more functionalities, especially with the notifications, which I'm really excited about, and I'll show you guys in just a second. Last three columns are all pretty simple: cost, value, gain, loss. Cost, what you paid; value, what it's worth today. And that's total, so that would be quantity times price paid, and then gain, loss. So next thing I'm going to show you is the historical income. So, we have the forecast here, which is forward looking. Then we're going to go into the historical income. So this is like, okay, here's what I've earned. And this is, in my opinion, a simple way of looking at, is my income growing or not? And how fast is it growing? And so here our widgets here show, okay, our dividend growth last year, 4.2%. Our average annual dividend growth, so the compound annual growth rate of our dividends the last 5 years, 5.2%. And then the last 10 years, it's 0 because I don't have 10 years of data yet. So the way I like to look at this is my graph moving up and to the right? If the graph is moving up and to the right, then my income's growing and I'm making more money every quarter, every year, and I'm doing better. So here's another little handy widget we built in here. So it's dividend growth potential. So it takes your last year's growth rate, 4.2%, and it takes your forecasted annual income, which was $1,088, and it says, okay, cool, at that same growth rate, compounded over the next 5 years, here's what your income would look like. 10 years, here's what your income would look like. 15 years, 20 years, and so on. So you get to see the compound annual growth rates effect on the income you earned. I don't know how many people are familiar with this. I'm not even sure if it's 100% true, but there's a famous quote attributed to Albert Einstein that says, compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Because if you let your money work for you, over time, your interest will earn interest, which will earn interest, which will earn interest, and that money just compounds over time. So this really gets to show you, okay, if I stick to this strategy and I contribute an extra $100, $200, $300 a month to this strategy of keeping investing in dividend stocks, earning more money, over time, that money will compound. And all of a sudden you'll wake up one day, you'll be earning $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month from the stock market in dividends. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. Anything's not making any sense, I'd love to answer. William, no, Divcaster does not track any sort of options. We're still very much in the infancy of this product. In the future, it might be a possibility. However, what I'd like to do is I'd like to get really, really good and laser focused on tracking dividends and then branch out from there. So I'm going to move on to some more of the technical functional pieces of this. So I'm going to talk about creating a transaction. So there's two ways to create transactions. You can click this button right here, create transaction, and you fill in the information manually. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more shares of Starwood, STWD. Or if everybody has any stocks that they like, interesting stocks, I can go ahead and type them in. We can see the data show up. So I'm going to buy another 100 shares of Starwood. Let me just check real quick the date that this was purchased. Okay, 2016. So I'll buy it in 2018. STWD. So you type in ticker, or you can type in the name, Starwood. Here it is right here. And you click. So you click, select it. This is a purchase, not a sell. We're going to type in the quantity, 100 shares. This was purchased on, I'm going to say 2018. So you can select the date manually. You can use this little wheel to change the month, or sorry, excuse me, the year. These change the month. Click on that. Price paid. Let's say I paid, trading for $23. Let's say I paid $22 for that. Here's the box for commissions and fees. This is just if you paid, a $5 commission to place the trade, you'll add that information there and it'll factor that into the gain loss in the total return. Go ahead and add the transaction. Here it is, it shows up. Here it is right here down at the bottom. Now you'll see the main difference, and this is one of the powers, the features of Divcaster I really like most, is you get to see the individual performance of each transaction. So you'll see $20 average cost per share, $22 average cost per share. Combined, $21 average cost per share. You get to see the return information separately, the gain loss information separately, and total income earned separately. So now you can see the power of purchasing stocks on a fixed schedule. So you see, okay, if I commit to buying 20 shares of Starwood every single month for the next 2 years, I'll really see how that affects the performance. And I'll see that I'll be able to compare between 2 different transactions, 3 different transactions, 4 different transactions. So there's another way to add. You also see that my income obviously grew a lot because I added 100 shares. So go back to the forecast. So next I'm going to show you guys how to, I won't go into this too much in detail, but if you decide to join us today, there's a lot of resources on this. Importing a CSV. So you also can download your transaction data from your brokerage account. And Keith, this will actually touch on your question about DRIP and dividend reinvestment program. So what you do is you download your transaction data from your brokerage. And let's see if I can quickly find the file, help you guys out. Here we go. Okay, cool. So you're brought to this web page right here, where you get to say, okay, you're matching the columns of your spreadsheet. I can go ahead and pull up the spreadsheet too, if that helps. I'll just show you guys here. So essentially what you do is you match the symbol here. So here's symbol, you'll match the symbol here. Purchase date, let's see, date, you match the format. So this is month, day, year, quantity, price, and then these 2 columns at the end. You don't need them. They can be purchase or sales, commissions and fees. I'm going to click don't import. So really quick, what this is doing is a couple of months ago, I downloaded my portfolio from TD Ameritrade using an Excel sheet. And hey, Keith, yeah, you can use this. One of the really great things about Divcaster is I know lots of people have a 401k, an IRA, a personal brokerage account. Maybe they manage their kids' accounts. Maybe they manage their wife's accounts. Maybe they manage their uncle, brother, you name it. And so Divcaster will allow you to put all those accounts into one place, and you can keep track of them in one place. And also I know that different brokerage accounts have different functionalities in terms of dividends. So TD Ameritrade, they have a basic income forecaster, like I showed you earlier, but they don't do any of the historical tracking of dividends. Fidelity, I'm pretty sure, has the, I don't use Fidelity, but I've heard Fidelity has some decent dividend tracking information too. But say you have a Fidelity and a TD account and a Vanguard account. Well, you got to go to different websites for each. It'd be great to have all that information in one place where you can easily access it. So I'm going to go ahead and just click import. And this just shows how quick and easy it is to upload. It doesn't matter if you have 8 transactions like mine, this button down here in the bottom right, or if you have 108 transactions or 200 transactions. You click the button and they'll upload pretty quickly. So Keith, to talk about your reinvestment strategies, what I recommend for dividend reinvestment is once a month, once every 2 months, whatever your preferred time is you download your transactions and then upload them into Divcaster, and it takes 10 minutes tops, and it adds all of your automated dividend reinvestments into the portfolio, giving you the most up-to-date information. So Tom Major, this is a very hot and contentious topic, mutual funds. So mutual funds, I have not found a data set that covers mutual funds. It's almost like a black box. I've talked to Morningstar that charges like $50,000 a year for data. I've talked to many other data providers, and mutual funds, unfortunately, we do not have data for, and I do not think we will get it. So real quick too, just want to touch on this for a second. You can have unlimited portfolios. So as you can see, I have lots of portfolios, and it's pretty easy to create a new one, create a new portfolio. I'm going to call this Jake's portfolio. Jake's my brother. And click on it here. And here's what you see when you first join Divcaster. You can click here to upload your CSV, or you can actually create a new portfolio by entering in information here. So I'm going to go back to my demo portfolio. The next feature I'd like to show you guys, and if you guys have any questions, please, once again, just drop them in the chat box, is what if scenarios. So what if scenarios are really cool. I'm going to go ahead and actually delete my uploaded transactions. So deleting a stock is pretty easy. You just click this trash can. Deleting a transaction is also easy. To delete a transaction, you'll just open it up, click here on these icons, and then delete selected. We're gonna delete this one, delete you, and you. Okay, cool. So what if scenarios allow you to plot a option, a different scenario of having a different variety or quantity or assortment of stocks in your portfolio. So in this portfolio, I have 4 stocks. 2 of them are monthly. So no, yeah, 2 are monthly pairs. I believe Main and Main and EPR are monthly pairs. NRZ and Starwood are quarterly pairs. So as you can see, I make way more income in October, January, April, and July than I do any of the other months. And I'm like, well, okay, cool. I'd like to maybe space that income out a little bit more and make some more money in August, September, November, December, February, March, and so on. Well, what a what if scenario would allow you to do is actually plug in different stocks to fill in those holes and see how that changes your income. Hey, William, right now, Investors Alley and the products we have on Investors Alley and the content is not currently tied to Divcaster. However, that is definitely something we would love to be able to do. If you are a Dividend Hunter subscriber, you actually can't access the entire Dividend Hunter portfolio through Divcaster, but we do not have access to any of the content yet. That's definitely on the horizon. We're working on it. That's one of the great things about Divcaster is it's so new. It's brand new pretty much, that we're very open to suggestions from our users, feedback from our users, and we built this for you guys. We built this, everybody on this call, I built this for you, make your life easier, make your life better, and that includes feedback. So the more feedback we get on this product, hey, this is what's worked, hey, I really like this feature, hey, I don't like this feature, I'll be like, okay, cool, that's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate that. So back to the what if scenarios, I'm gonna call this more monthly income. And if anybody off the top of their head knows any stocks that pay in those months, that'd be awesome. If not, I'm gonna guess. Or if anybody would like to just see any stocks plotted on here, that'd be cool. MRRL, let's see. Okay, so here's the basic layout of the what if scenario. You name it, it'll show all of your current stocks in your portfolio and your quantities. And this is the new quantity right here. So we're gonna say, okay, cool. I'm not gonna change any of the quantities of my current stocks. I'm just gonna see if I can add more income into the other bars. So you said M, yep, we could do O. O would raise our monthly income. And MRR, is MRRL a fund maybe? Or did I spell that wrong? MRRL. So we have O, really income. I'll click add. We'll do 100 shares of that. Why don't we do something, maybe it's another good dividend stock. We can do T, AT&T. We'll do 50 shares of AT&T, and then maybe Procter & Gamble, add that. We'll do another 50 shares of that. You go ahead and click plot. And you'll see we did get some more extra income in August. So that's really awesome. August, November, February, and May. March went up a little bit with our O. So you'll see here, these stocks do not show up below because it is a what if scenario. What if scenarios are contained up here. Here's the more monthly income. It gives you the cost to implement. So to purchase 50 shares of AT&T, 100 shares of O, and 50 shares of Procter & Gamble would cost $15,000. And we can see here that our annual income for our portfolio down below is $1,280. Our what if scenario, which is this bluish purple color, we're actually going to earn $500 more a year on average. Our monthly income goes up by about $40. Our average dividend yield goes down. I believe AT&T is a decent yield, maybe 6%, but O is pretty low, and Procter & Gamble is pretty low. And then our year-to-date income with that scenario is also a little bit different. So like I said, this is another great tool to figure out, okay, cool, I would like to add more income to my August and September, those quarterly chunks. And now I have a tool that will show me what stocks to buy, how much to buy, how much it costs, and then the impact on my income. I'll go ahead and do one more. I'll do Apple, ETN. Hey, Norman. The dropping securities, that was an interesting issue. I only ever saw that with your portfolio, and it never really cropped up anywhere else. So I'm not sure if you're still on as a user or not, but it seemed like that was a pretty isolated issue with just your account, and I do hope it's been fixed. So like I said, we're gonna plot one more scenario. If you guys want to drop in any more stocks, that'd be great. I'm maybe gonna do a scenario where I sell one stock. So maybe we sell NRZ and Starwood. We'll sell NRZ and Starwood and buy, maybe we buy some more monthly pairs. Apple, APLE, trying to think of another monthly pair off the top of my head. Let's just do buy Apple. Okay. So to sell, quote unquote, sell NRZ and Starwood inside of the what if scenarios, you'll select it and zero it out. So 0, 0. And then we will type in APLE, add, and we'll pick up. So we sold 400 shares, 200, 200, and we'll add 400 shares of Apple. And I would not like to show this blue because I would like to just compare the blue versus the green. So I can go ahead and click it and exit it out. So here we see our annual income goes down, $1,280 versus $958 for our yellow scenario, which is the selling NRZ and Maine and purchasing, selling NRZ and Starwood and purchasing Apple. Our average monthly income goes down, but what's cool here is we actually gain $1,302 in cash. So Apple is a cheaper stock than NRZ and Starwood. So if we sold all of our NRZ and all of our Starwood, we'd actually be able to buy another 100 shares. So I can go ahead and edit this and add 100 shares on there. Hey, Tom. So what ifs are all done manually. You don't upload anything into the what if, but you could upload your Fidelity account into Divcaster and then decide what ifs you would like to do. Keith, the best way to do classifying your investments, in my opinion, would probably create separate portfolios. So you do new portfolio conservative, new portfolio aggressive, and then maybe add the stocks into each one of those individually. Another awesome feature about Divcaster is the notifications. So we keep track of when stocks announce dividends. We keep track of when stocks cut their dividends, which is extremely important, when they raise their dividends, when they announce, when they pay. And like I said, we're right in the middle of an awesome improvement for these notifications when we move over to the bar chart API. And you can manage notifications inside of the My Account section. And you can say, okay, cool, send me an X dividend notification, dividend payment, weekly portfolio valuation, or combine everything into a weekly digest email. And the notifications just help you keep on top of what's going on in your portfolio, what just happened, did I just get a payment, ex-dividend dates. Ex-dividend dates are great because ex-dividend dates are a great day to purchase shares of a stock that you've been waiting and watching, because obviously the stock price drops a good amount on that day, drops by the amount of the dividend being paid. So notifications are one of my favorite features. It's a feature that we're looking to really improve, and it's a feature that if you join or when you join, we'd love to get some feedback on and hear what sort of notifications are you looking for? What would you like to stay on top of with your portfolio? So next, I'm just going to quickly go over the support section. So obviously, one of the biggest hesitations we get with Divcaster is, I'm not too good with software, I'm not too good with computers, I don't like Excel, I get frustrated. So we have a really awesome support section. You access it by clicking the little guy up at the top right. And I've created countless videos talking about all the different features, how to set up your portfolio, how to clean and import your portfolio Excel sheet, how to work with your data, how to add portfolios, subtract portfolios. There's a wealth of resource of information inside of the support section that we've made for you. And also myself, I would be more than happy to create a video explaining something that's not already up here. So the support section is really great. You can search, and then you can go back to Divcaster here. Anybody have any questions or anything? No, I can go ahead and close up. Hey, Norman, I'll make sure to reach out to you after this presentation. Thank you for hopping on, Norman. Yeah, so I'm just go ahead and close out this presentation. I got to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Hold on one sec. Just switching my screen real quick. Takes a second with this software. All right, can people see the screen? There we go. Awesome, cool. So yeah, here's the deal. Here's what we're offering. I'd love for everybody here to go ahead and join Divcaster now and give it a spin. I'm gonna absolutely give you the offer to join. So we're offering an annual subscription to Divcaster for $99. And why do we choose $99? Well, a lot of competing softwares out there charge $300, $400, $500 a year or more. And most of them do not focus specifically on dividend investing. And basically, in exchange for joining us today, we're going to take up to 80% off what we'll charge in the future. And we're doing this for two reasons. Oh, whoops, clicked too far. The two reasons being, one, Divcaster is still brand new, and being perfectly transparent and perfectly honest, we still have bugs. There's still issues. There's still features that we are tweaking, optimizing, making better. And so as part of this deal, you guys get a discounted subscription for a year. And actually that $99 subscription goes on for life. It doesn't matter if we charge $1,000 next year, you'll still get it for $99. And in exchange, we'd really like for you to be a part of helping us build this product. This product is for you. I built this product for you. I put thousands of hours of time into this product for income investors and to help them have an easier time getting hold of their portfolio and optimizing it to make more income. We have tons of resources to help you get set up. Like I said, I make myself available over email. I'll help you get started. As we grow our user base, I will not be able to do this. I'll probably have to hire a customer service person to do it for me. But if you guys join today and you're having issues with your portfolio, I'll go ahead and help you get it set up. You guys send me any information. I'll try and do my best to make you a video, work directly with you, or actually just go into your account and set it up for you. We have the growing library of support videos. We have a quick start guide, and we also have the official Divcaster user manual. Plus, and I did this for a very specific reason, we're doing a 12-month full money back guarantee. So there is no risk to join today. If you join today, you get 12 months. You can join today, and on day 364, you say, hey, Jared, this product's just not working for me. I'll be like, okay, cool. Here's your $99 back. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to order right in the chat. And if you're ready to purchase now, you can just go in there, fill out the order form, and get started. And if not, I'm definitely open to answering more questions, showing off more features, and just to reiterate what I said today, I hope the one thing you took out of this call is that not only will you start tracking your dividends, but hopefully you'll use Divcaster to do it too. But if you decide to do it, you decide not to do Divcaster, I commend you for that as well. I see a couple questions coming through. Hey, Billy, you can import 1,000 stocks at a time from your brokerage account if you use an Excel sheet. There's really no limit. BJ, yes, Divcaster tracks ETFs. There's some, I was just about to talk about closed-end funds and mutual funds. Mutual funds, I've not been able to find a data set that covers mutual funds. They have very different rules for their distributions. So I just have not been able to find a good solution yet. Closed-end funds, not all are tracked, but most are tracked. And especially with the switch to bar chart, which is happening, I just got word from our developers that they're QAing it today, which means they're testing it to go live. They have a lot more closed-end funds. Hey, Tom, appreciate the honesty. Like I said, with the 12-month money-back guarantee, now is a great time to join. Give it a try. You see what's going on. And in 12 months, if you still don't like it, you get your money back. And I can say with a lot of confidence that over the next couple months, we'll be raising the price as we add more features. Hey, Cliff. Yeah, so everything's automated. Dividends are added as they're paid. So you don't have to do anything. You import how many shares you have of what stock, and Divcaster takes care of the rest. I just put the link inside of the chat. Let me know if you guys can see it. Norman, I'll make sure to send you an email right after this. Awesome, everybody. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes, but if not, no more questions or anything like that. Hey, Jerry, we do our best to forecast special dividends. If the dividends have been paid regularly in the past, then Divcaster will pick them up. But if they're uh, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what stock it is, just paid a special $30 dividend or something like that they'd never done before, Divcaster will not pick that up, but Divcaster will pick up like the main special dividends. Hey, William, I'd use that link I dropped inside of the chat. That'd probably be the easiest way for you to do it. That way you also get the $99 deal that's being offered here. Hey, Cliff. Yeah, Fidelity's, we have tons of clients with Fidelity. It's pretty easy to download the information. And like I said, once you join, you'll have full access to the support library, which has very detailed videos on how to clean the Excel sheet and import it. Hey, Mike, div reinvestment, those are not automatically factored in. There's a specific reason why we chose not to do that. Every brokerage has a different method for doing dividend reinvestment. They use what's called a blended share price. So they'll take a almost like an average of the prices for that specific equity for the day, and then give you a blended share price for your purchase. So there's no one way for us to do it, because Fidelity does it different than TD, does it different than E-Trade. So the easiest way to do it is to just manually enter in the purchases, or like I said, once a month, just do a transaction import. Someone's asking what the projected annual fee will be after the first year. If you join today, your fee will always be $99. We will never change that for you if you purchase today, but say you decide to wait, so you decide to wait a month or two, then the price will go up. We're going to think it's going to go up to at least $297 a year. Jeanette, of course, you just send us an email and we will accommodate you however we see best. Tim, I don't think we have any Canadian stocks. I think, if I'm trying to remember specifically, the currency issues were a problem for me, and I wasn't ready to add anything that wasn't in US dollars or on US exchanges. These data sets are expensive. We pay $15,000 a year to get access to this bar chart data, and that's just one of our data sets. So when we get more users, we'll obviously have more cash flow to have more data sets, and hopefully in the future we can add Canadian stocks. Jerry, yes. We can, it handles drip investments, anything like that. You can use fractional shares. Schwab accounts transfer really well, Judy. We have tons of people have Schwab. Our main couple brokerage accounts people have are TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Schwab, and E-Trade. Of course, we support all of them, however. Darren, I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been working hard to make this specifically for people who are trying to build it themselves. So after you join, send me an email. Once you join, you'll get my personal, actually, I'm just going to drop my personal email in the chat. If you have any questions or anything about tonight or about the product, or once you join, you have questions, go ahead and just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to answer it for you. So Jerry, actually there is something I'm looking at for manually adding stocks, like manually adding transactions. It's on the to-do list. I'll say that. It's on schedule for a future release. Not quite yet, but I think it would be interesting, especially for people who have mutual funds that cannot be tracked in Divcaster, to be able to add a totally manual equity position to their portfolio. Hey, Morris. The link is in the chat, but I'll go ahead and just send you one directly. Awesome. I'll stay on here for a few more minutes if the chat doesn't leave. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Jerry, that'll be available definitely till the end of the week. We're not going to be raising the price to $200, at least for maybe a couple months. But who knows? These things change quickly, and it definitely at least until Saturday. So I'm going to send some follow-up emails after today. And I'll send a replay of this. Darren, thank you. Appreciate you joining. Make sure to send me an email after you join. Jerry, you too. If you join, please shoot me an email. Say hey. Yeah, Tom, whenever we release new features or anything like that, I'll usually do a live demonstration for members and subscribers and users of the product. I don't normally do these live demos for non-users, but if you join today, yeah, I send lots of email updates, keeping you informed about what we're working on and everything like that. The next big thing that we're working on is going to be improving the notifications and then adding a couple of new interesting features. Like I would really like to add that manual transaction feature where you can actually enter in all the information like the dividend being paid. All right, everybody, I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, if you have any questions or anything like that, my email address is inside of the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great night.